Grumble, grumble.
Hey everyone, this is the Grumpy Meeple, and I am back continuing my Oathsworn Encounter 1 playthrough. Comes back around to the hero turn. Refresh phase. Each character gains an amount of animus equal to their regen value. Okay. The Ranger regens 7. The Exile regens 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 6 regen on the Priest and 6 on the Penitent. So everybody with the Exile is back up to full. Each character rotates all cards at cooldown position 0 back into their hand. This is something that I screwed up in the previous round. I should have played this card for at least the Ranger called Loose Arrow, which lets you battle flow 1 card, because I could have battle flowed this card down to here and then gotten it back. I'll probably end up doing that this round, but if I'd done it last round when I had extra gems, that would have been smart. Same thing over here with the Penitent. But we're learning. So, in terms of the monster, we know that she's got this vicious tail whip coming, where she's going to release the brood, move 4 spaces to her target, turn to face directly away from her target, and then do this massive AoE cone tail attack. So, one thing that tells me is, boy, it'd be nice if I could kill that tail, because she'll do considerably less damage once that tail is knocked out. But at the same time, we have a massive number of little vermin on the table that we need to deal with. And so I'm going to start off by doing that. And we're going to start with the Priest. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, well. Yeah, I think the Priest is going to play Pillar and Path, which lets him gain either a reroll or a defense token, as well as getting off an attack. It costs 4 animus. Goes into the 1 slot. And he's going to take a defense token. Defense. That's obnoxious. So I definitely feel like I could use some defense. So, in terms of his dice pool, he gets a yellow die because of his might. And what do I need to do damage-wise? I need to do at least 2 damage to be able to take out the giant rat. So I think I'm going to go with just these 3. 2 blanks and a crit. You get to reroll for the crit before you decide if you want to reroll for the blanks, so that you can see what you would have done. So I will spend a reroll token. I believe I have one of those. I'm going to reroll the yellow, because this one has less of a chance of being blank. All right. So we're doing 5 damage, 2 defense. We take out the little bugger right in front of us. Okay, so not bad. Next, we've got the Penitent. Penitent's going to spend 1 to move here, and then he's going to do a big old AoE attack. Sweep, area of effect. This attack targets up to 3 adjacent hexes in your front arc. Boop, boop, boop. If you kill any enemies, then move 2. Attack once and apply to all targets. It costs 4 animus. 1, 2, 3, 4. It goes in battle flow spot number 2. So This is where this gets tricky because he only has white dice. He's got to do at least 2 damage. I think he does have a reroll. He's going to just roll 3. Beautiful. 2, 4, 6. And you only roll the damage once, so these 3 go down. I could roll the crits, but it doesn't matter. Okay, well, that worked out beautifully. I really like this ability to kind of move between characters at any time because it allowed him to free up the space. He wouldn't have been able to hit all 3 of them if he couldn't have gotten into that exact space. I think he could have hit all 3. Yeah, I'm not going to question myself. I'm assuming that, yeah, he was there. He moved there. There were rats like all around. Okay, well, that dramatically decreases the risk from the rats. So there's still this large group here. Oh, and also he gets to move 2, I believe. Yes, if you kill any enemies, move 2. Wonder what else he could potentially get done this turn. So he's got Taunt. After a stage card is drawn or before an enemy moves, he could play Taunt as an interrupt. Focus one enemy within range 6 to focus. Force one enemy within range 6 to focus on you rather than their current target. So if he could move a bit, that could really save my butt because I want him taking the hits. He's my tank. It costs 0 gems and it is an interrupt. So I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm going to pay 1 Animus. So he gets to move 2, first of all. So I'm going to move there. I'm going to spend 2 movement to move here. And then I'm going to spend 1 to play Penitent Strike as a Battle Flow. Battle Flow 1 card. The order of this is interesting though because I want to Battle Flow this card to here. But do I play Penitent Strike down first or do I get this card back? I think I play down Penitent Strike and then I get to Battle Flow this card to here, which would give me Penitent Strike back. I think that's how that's supposed to happen. Let me know in the comments if that's not how that's supposed to happen. So, we've got 5 rats left with at least, three more coming out due to her releasing of the brood. We've got the Penitent set up to taunt the rat to force her AoE back, which is great because these guys don't need to worry about it then. So let's see what else we can do, starting with the Ranger. Ranger's got a number of very cool abilities. Quick Shot. It only costs 1 Animus. This attack must target a minion. Multi-Shot. You can only play this if there are no enemies adjacent to you. Targets up to 3 enemies in your front arc. Attack once and apply to all targets. Ignore the highest value card unless all targets are adjacent to at least one of the other targets. Costs 4 Animus. It's on a 3 cooldown. That would really help me tear through those minions, but I want to do some damage to the boss too. Oh right, and the Exile has Reap, which is the same kind of AoE attack that we saw before. Yeah, and Reap will get him an Empower token. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and activate the Exile. Just gonna move. You know what? I think I'll just move him 1 because I want to hit the rat as well as one of the minions with Reap, which costs 4. 2, 3, 4. Goes into Battle Flow 2. Targets up to 3 adjacent hexes in your front arc. If you kill any enemies, gain a Empower token. So he's going to roll 3 white dice. If he wants to do damage to that big mama. Yeah. 3 feels safe. 3 damage divided by 2 for the mama and the rat. Kills the rat. Gains an Empower token. Oops. And does a damage to the rat's back. Okay. Could have been worse, could have been worse. So he's got Headbutt. Ignore one of the enemy's might cards, your choice, after an adjacent enemy draws damage. So one thing I can do to stack the deck in terms of the Penitent is I can make sure that he's in range to do that Headbutt. Now when this big beast moves, she's gonna move 4. I don't know if I can quite get there. I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna activate the Ranger. Ranger's gonna have to move. Oh wait, did he draw a critical? All right, he didn't crit. I think I am gonna actually move the Exile. Move him here so that I can move the Ranger here so that she can do her multi-shot. Targets up to 3. Oh no. Can only play this ability if there are no enemies adjacent to you. She can just move right there, that's fine. It's got a range of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, so she can hit all of them. Targets up to 3 enemies in your front arc. Attack once and apply to all targets. Ignore the highest value card unless all targets are adjacent to at least one of the other targets. This costs 4. 3, 4. Goes into Battle Flow 3. She gets a yellow die for her short bow. She'll take 2. Son of a... She will pay a reroll token. Whew! Okay, so she kills all 3 of those. She's only got 1 Animus left, and so she's gonna spend it to Battle Flow, long shot down, which puts Lucero back in her hand. Well, we've made mincemeat of these rats. Priest still has 4 Animus. A lot he can do. Weight of Glory, an attack with knockback 2. If the target collides with anything during the knockback, one character within range 3 gains a shield. He's only got 4 animus. It costs 3 to play that. So he can't do that. His attacks are pretty expensive. He does have prayer protection he can play for an attack for only 2 animus. It's probably the best he can do. He's gonna move 1, 2. He's gonna play prayer of protection. See, this is where like the battle flow system is really cool, but it does get in the way because now I have to battle flow both of these. And I don't want this to spread out across the entire universe, you know, so yeah, so he's playing that. He's spending, he spent 2 to move, and he's spending 2 on the attack. Good. Gonna roll this. I think he's just gonna roll 2. He got a 2 crit. Glad I only rolled 2. Crit rolls of a blank do not count towards failure, so he kills this rat. So we made short work of the rats, which is a good thing because they just seem to keep coming. Everybody's out of animus, so that's it. I keep forgetting about my equipment cards too. These can be played out and can do things. When you critical during an attack that hits, add 2 damage and 2 knockback. Cudgel, when you critical during an attack that hits, add 1 damage and 1 knockback. The Penitent and the Priest are very similar, I feel. Maybe too similar. Like, in terms of my party composition. Hatchets, when you critical during an attack that hits, draw 2 additional cards rather than 1. When you attack, spend any amount of animus to add 2 range to the attack for each animus spent. Wow, that's really powerful. Okay. So, now we go to the monster turn. Top stage card activates. Tail Whip. Release the brood. Place 3 giant rats adjacent to the brood mother and the hexes closest to her rear. 1, 2, 3. Move 4 to her target. This is where the Penitent plays his Master Stroke. After a stage card is drawn or before an enemy moves, force 1 enemy within range 6 to focus on you rather than their current target. And this goes into Battle Flow 3. So she... You son of a gun. Pushes him to here. Then she spins around. All right. Turn her face away from the target, directly away from the target. So directly away. It's very specific. We need to make sure. Yeah, more like that. And she's got her AoE cone tail attack, range 3, knockback 2. Luckily, we positioned her so that it's only going to hit the Penitent. She gets 2 red dice, 2 red cards, and 3 yellow cards. Man, his defense is 4 by default. I'm definitely going to need to bump that up. Yeah, he's going to play Shield Bash as a defensive card. I don't believe playing it as a defensive card triggers Battle Flow. Cost no animus. It does trigger battle flow. Okay, good. So that will move that card there. And that will add 3 to his defense, which is now 7. Okay. Oh my god. Ooh, 3, 6. Wow. He blocked it all. Wow. Amazing. Well, that yellow deck is just getting more and more dangerous because there are a lot of blanks in there. But that was awesome. Now the minions activate. They're targeting priority. Closest Oathsworn in line of sight that the enemy can reach is the target. So basically he's just going to move there and then they're all going to attack him. He's got a paltry 2 defense. He's got headbutt after an adjacent enemy draws damage, nor one of the might cards. So these guys are drawing, because they do that gang up mechanic. 3 yellow. 3 white. It's a lot of cards. I wonder if you can play more than 1 card as defense. That's an interesting question. Up to 1. So I think I'm going to play Leap Attack for defense. It gives me an extra 2. And then I'll have Headbutt after an adjacent enemy draws damage. Ignore one of the enemy's might cards that I can play as a reaction. After an adjacent enemy draws damage. I'm assuming they mean after an adjacent enemy reveals damage. Draws. They're assuming that you reveal when they draw. Yeah. Leap Attack goes into slot 1, which gets me weapon throwback to slot 0. He's got 4 defense now. Let's see what they actually have here. 3, 4. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of damage. 10 damage. His defense is 4. I think he's just going to use a defense token to bump it up to 5. And then he'll just take 2 damage. Brutal. That's a lot of really powerful white cards, though. That's actually probably good for me. That could have gone much, much worse. He does need to get healed at some point, though. Turn the next stage card face up. Next up, we've got Gnaw. Release the Brood. Move 7. Target with her teeth, which are weakened, and then move southeast. So this turn, I feel like we got to do some serious damage to her, but we also have to keep the brood under control. Nothing happens in the end of round, so that is the end of round 2. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying it, actually. I really like this system. The battle flow thing is a little irritating just because of the amount of space it takes up, but maybe that's just maybe that's only a consideration for people who have to film this stuff, because otherwise I could set this board up differently. I'm trying to get everything onto the screen right now. So, but I really like the Animus system, and the battle flow system is very cool. I need to be careful about making sure I know whose crap is what. The abilities are pretty cool so far, and the boss and her little minions are quite deadly. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you're excited about Oathsworn, maybe excited about the reprint campaign, which is coming soon. I just heard that there's going to be a big box expansion included in that. I'll be interested to see what comes with that. And if they release any kind of upgraded components, I'd be interested too, because it really would be nice to have the dual layered boards. I wouldn't mind, I don't know if you could shrink these cards down or not, but it would make the battle flow system a lot easier if these weren't such giant cards. Or maybe create some kind of like tuck, dual layered tuck where you can kind of push them in. I don't know. Maybe that's asking too much. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.